As you guys can see, like I'm literally like crying because I'm like extremely pissed off. Like, I don't think pissed off is even the word to describe what I'm feeling right now. Today was supposed to be like a nice, happy day or whatever, because baby turned 4 months today and we was taking her for a checkup or whatever. So, we got, went to the doctor or whatever. Her appointment was at 10 o'clock and, we got there, how they, take the temperatures, all that stuff like that. They took a temperature, went in the room or whatever. And, we were waiting on the doctor. The doctor was late or whatever. So we was waiting around for the doctor or whatever. So when the doctor finally came in, I didn't know who it was. Like, I never seen this doctor before. So I was like, I never met you before. I didn't catch your name. She didn't respond at all. She was just like over in the corner and was just kind of like writing on her pad or whatever. So I was like, okay, well, maybe she didn't hear me because she's an older lady or whatever. So I said it again. Did she say something when I said it again? Did she say her name?
She said something. She's like, Dr. something.
Amala or whatever. So she basically, her whole bedside was just
horrible.
Was bad. Like, it was just the worst of the worst. So she didn't even say anything. So, how the doctor was saying like, oh, hi, undress the baby, blah, 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 introduce us. It wasn't none of that. So when she came in or whatever, and I said what I said, like, I didn't catch her name. She said her name or whatever. She was like, doing like this. So basically gesturing me to put baby on the table or whatever. So I had baby already unzipped or whatever because I had changed her pamper, but I didn't fully take her clothes off or whatever. Usually they instruct you like, hey, undress the baby, I'm ready type thing. So she did like this or whatever. I was like, oh, so you want me to put her on the table? And she was like, yeah, or whatever. So I put her on the table. She didn't even look at her, right? She looked at us and she was like, do you guys have your vaccinations, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I said, no, I don't have mine. Let me just say this, address this. This is not even your business, for one. Like, and I don't have anything to do with the appointment. If you're not asking me about anything that happened with me, whatever, this ain't got nothing to do with you. So do you have your vaccination? So I said, no, I don't have my vaccinations because my doctor instructed me.
That's not even what happened. She's like, do you guys have vaccinations? He was like, no. Why not?
Okay, yeah.
And then you address.
True. Okay, so she like, why not? And I explained to her the reason why I don't have it, which I was instructed by my doctor not to get it at this time, but I'm still going to get it. So this is what I'm explaining to her. Like, it's a reason why I can't get it now because of some medicine. So I'm going to get it later. Right. Okay. So you would think that would crush the issue, correct? So I said what I said. So she looks at Jarvis and says, oh, so you're not getting yours because, she on this medicine. Yeah, she's on this medicine or whatever. So Jarvis goes to explain, his reasoning or whatever. But I didn't even hear his reasoning because I'm already mad. Right. So I goes to say, I said, what is this? Why do you ask? Oh, because I feel this way about, vaccination and stuff like this. And,
we're going to start not seeing patients.
Right, we're going to start not seeing patients if they don't have their vaccinations. I said, okay, well, by the time we come back, we will have them. So it's not a problem. Okay, crushed it again, right? We should be done with this situation. So she goes on to, look at baby or whatever. So she's, being funny and undermining, still talking about it like, oh, baby, they need to get their vaccinations or they gonna, get you, just basically just being undermining. Yeah. They gonna get you sick and trying to be funny. Okay, so now at this point, you didn't piss me off now because now you're trying to be funny or whatever. So I said, do your examination, and I don't want to hear anything else about vaccinations. I don't want to hear nothing about it or whatever. So she keeps going on about it or whatever. So I'm like, well, you need to shut your ass up, okay? And do what you came in here to do. Examine my baby. Give her her shots or whatever. So she gets mad or whatever. So now at this point, she's, At this point, she is like roughhousing, like, not being gentle. When you have a baby, you're supposed to be gentle or whatever, flip them over, whatever. So she's kind of like just grazing, like, here's the remote. She kind of like, and then she got her head and doing like this. So at this point, I'm pissed, right? Ugh. So now I have to end. I'm like, you know what? It's over. Stop. Don't, you're done. Don't touch her no more. Or whatever. So I'm like, Jarvis, get my baby or whatever. So she like, well, if you don't want me to do it or whatever, I ain't gotta do it. I said, you didn't even look at her. Like, it was like this. It was literally like this. And then she went over there.
Didn't address any concerns that we had that we told the nurse about. And then we were like, okay, you didn't address anything. We was like, okay, what about this and what about that? What are you talking about?
Yeah, so like, she didn't even address anything. So she goes out the room like, you don't want me to do it. I ain't got to do it or whatever. So I'm like, Jarvis, get my baby. So whatever. So I follows her out the door like, you wrong or whatever, because you didn't even address the concerns that I had. She said, I did. She had a swollen eye. It don't even look like, she said she ain't got no swollen eye. I said, you didn't even look at her eyes. Like, she literally didn't even take the light. She didn't look at her eyes. She didn't grab her arms. She didn't feel on her arms. She didn't do her legs to make sure her legs are moving. She didn't look at her ears. So she did not do an examination. She did not look at her. I'm so pissed. She did not look at her at all.
Not at all. And let me remind you, this is not. This is our first time having an appointment with this doctor. We've been to that place and we had another doctor. We know what an examination looked like. She talks us through everything that she's doing, so we know what it looks like. So that's why we know you did not look at her.
Right. She didn't check nothing. So I said, you did not do her examination. Yes, I did. I said, you didn't address none of our concerns. She said, yes, I did. You said she had a swollen eye. She ain't got a swollen eye. I said, you didn't even look at her eye. Yes, I did. I said, and I said, nurse, didn't I tell you that she had a rash on her neck? I said, did you look at the rash on her neck? She said, yeah, I did. I said, no, you did. I said, okay, why you ain't tell us what to do about it? Just keep it dry. I said, oh, that's how you want to play it? That's what you want to do? Are you, serious?
And then she was like, oh, let me show you. And this is how I know this is just her trying to look at it because she didn't.
Exactly.
Trying to play it off.
At this point, no, you didn't look at it. No. I said, no, you're not finna look at her because, you okay? Like, no, because at this point, you're literally, and Lord, I promise you, I need strength, because this was the worst. It was just the worst experience ever. Like, I understand people's views when it comes to the vaccination, stuff like that. Okay, that's fine. Everybody had their views on everything. But listen to me. I did not say I was not going to get it. I said I couldn't get it at that moment. That's what I said. But it is like, it's one thing to fight that, black and everything like that. Mm-hmm. That's one fight that we have to fight. But it's another thing to try to treat me more like trash just because I don't have a damn vaccination right now. And you trying to enforce a rule that you did not have in place. I see if you had the rule in place. You said our rule is this. Okay, we can't be here then.
Right.
But you don't even have the rule in place.
Right. We're gonna start not seeing patients that aren't vaccinated. And it's just kind of like, I feel like you're just saying that to make us get the vaccination.
But the thing is, when she walked in the room, you hear me? When she walked in the room, she didn't want to do it. She didn't want to see her at all, because you didn't even say nothing. You didn't even introduce yourself when you walked in the room. Your vibe was off. Your bedside manner was off when you walked in the room. So you didn't want to do it anyway. And I should have just walked out. I should have just walked. When she didn't introduce herself, I should have got my shit and I should have left.
I think the only reason...
I should have left, but I wanted her to get her shots.
Exactly. That's the only reason why we stayed as long as we did, because we want her to get her shots. We want her to be healthy. So that's the only reason we stayed while we did. But it's like, at a certain point, no, we stopping this. We got to go.
It literally took everything in me not to go back in there. It literally took everything in me. So when I walked out, when she did when I said no, when she was like, oh, well, I look at the rash, and I said no, or whatever. I was like, well, where's the other doctor at that we've been seeing?
Right.
Or whatever. And they like, well, she's not here. I said, okay, well, I'll make an appointment with her. They like, oh, well, this is her private practice. I said, okay, well, never mind. I won't be back here. I won't be back here, because if this is how you run shit, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be a part of it. Because what I will not do, you're not finna discriminate against me and then try to roughly deal with my fucking daughter. That's what you're not finna do. Because I'm not even gonna say what I really want to say. But you're not gonna do this. Like, this is so freaking absurd. Like, this is so absurd.
Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous.
Like, oh my God, I'm literally going to do everything in my power to let everybody know not to go over there, not to deal with her, because that was just so rude. Like, now my daughter doesn't have her vaccinations because you didn't want to do it. Because you looked at us and you didn't want to do it. Like, you looked at us like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Who does that? I'm so, like, literally, like I said, I'm going to do everything in my power to let people know not to go over there. Don't go over there. Do not, don't go over there, because, and then she don't have the right spirit, so don't go over there. Don't take your kids over there. We were over in Naperville.
It was
what is the clinic called?
Naperville Children Clinic.
Naperville Children's Clinic. Do not go over there. Do not go over there. And this is not over. This is not over.
The one doctor we go to, she's a great seasoned doctor. The person who's in head of the practice, she should not be seeing patients. She should not be seeing kids or anything like that, because she's just rude, and you're letting your personal views obstruct. You're actually
your job. Like, what you doing?
The job is like, what is? You shouldn't have no practice if this is how you're gonna. If this is how you are as a person, you shouldn't have a practice. You should just let the other doctor, who's great with everybody, see everybody.
But she didn't even care. That's the thing. It seems like nobody cares no more. Nobody cares no more. Well, like I said, I'm going to do everything in my power. Do not take your kids over there. Do not. And I'm just so mad that we was literally discriminated against.
Right. Because
of this. Are you serious? I'm pissed. I am so pissed right now. And it's like, as a mother, I feel like I didn't defend her enough. That's what I feel like. I really feel like that. And I feel like nobody should have to know her bottles in the thing. It's in the bag. And the hot water is in the baby bag too. I feel like I didn't defend her. I didn't. I feel like I really didn't. Nobody should have to go through that at all, especially when you trying to, take care of your kids or whatever. And it's like we're hopeless when we go in as a patient, because we need the doctors. And it's like, when you go in there, you need the doctors, and then they treat you like shit. It's just like, what the fuck? But I'm going to find out, what can I do? Like, I have to do something, because this is just absurd. I'm sorry. We about to get you a milk, okay? Okay. I gotta get off.